What up, y'all? Welcome back. Today, I just want to talk to you. It's a little windy out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in Cali where, they got windstorms all the time. But anyway, um, I want to talk to y'all about war. I want to talk to y'all about past wars and different types of wars. Back in the day, they had ancient wars. They had, you know, Greeks against other countries, Romans against other countries, Africans against other countries. They've had all types of countries against other countries, since the division of the people had its inception. Fast forward to today, we got street wars. You got gangs, gang members against gang members, neighborhoods against neighborhoods. You got police against criminals. You even got guys from the same hoods warring against each other. But believe it or not, even in the intellectual realm, there also are wars. And the wars is not necessarily personal unless you take what you're presenting and the feedback you're getting personal versus feedback from the work that you put in, whether you should up the level of your workload or take a break because you're working too hard. Either way is detrimental to your craft. So what I want to say is in the intellectual aspect of war, I mean, the ammunition is facts, receipts, word of mouth, legend, personal thresholds that they've passed, people witnessing. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to fact check anybody or if you want to validate them being, qualified individual, all you got to do is your research. It's really simple. That being said, speaking of war, if two countries hate each other's guts, right? But those two countries both have an enemy in common, okay? What those two enemies could do is click up. We're only saying enemies because of this scenario, because the magnitude of what happens in war and society. Those two enemies could click up to defeat their enemy that they both had. My enemy of my enemy means that we could be friends. That means me and you could click up, you know what I'm saying, and overtake him. I didn't say the direct quote because everybody uses it. I'm doing it in my own way. So let's just hypothetically say it's two individuals that have a war on poverty in their neighborhood. One person could go to each member's house and try to educate them on how to get out of poverty. Things that they could do on how to get out of poverty. Different things as far as better mindsets, better skills, better coping mechanisms that they could use to get out of their poverty, PTSD stricken life. And there's also other individuals and other facets of the same struggle, of the same war, with the same enemy, which is poverty for this scenario. Outside of the individual that's going house to house, family to family, school to school, counselor to counselor, you know what I'm saying, psychologist to psychologist, psychiatrist to psychiatrist, behavior specialist to teachers, trying to help these individuals, there are also other individuals in the community that could teach them militants on how not to be so soft, on how not to, um, how you got to stand up and stop being a wuss and crying about the situation and stand up, even without an example. There's individuals that's created to do that. Everybody can't do that. The same with the individual that's helping the families and meeting with the professionals. A general and a doctor articulates different, or some type of specialist and a sergeant, they articulate different because they have different mindsets, which means they have different techniques, which means they have different attributes that they have to use, such as using more soft skills, using words that individuals can understand that won't arouse energy that could allow them to do something negative because they don't know how to process it to do something positive. These individuals are in the same fight. They don't even know each other. Same fight. Same enemy, different approach, different positions. Then you also have other individuals that oversee everything as far as how will the officer or the sergeant or the general assist with what he need to do in this war, along with seeing the other individual's footsteps, because they want to see the overall. It's like a CEO of a company. They want to see the overall output. They want to see the numbers. You know, the general or the sergeant or the officer, they're not really looking at the numbers. They're looking at what they see right in front of them. Results. Did we win or did we lose, and what we need to do to win? The individual that's going to the homes and going to the courts and holding the kids' hands when they lose custody of their parents. Yeah, that happens. Yes. Whether it's drugs, whether it's neglect, it happens. But everybody has a role. Different approaches have to be different because different people are connecting with different types of people. The person that's going house to house, home to home, therapist to therapist, they're not necessarily speaking to lawmakers. Maybe locally, at the most. But the CEO or the individuals on that level, they have to connect with the other individuals on that level, or at least know how they think to stop the war on poverty, because that's what we're talking about in this example. The sergeant or the officer or the general, they got to know war tactics. They need to know what's necessary for being what's inside your heart to get the mission done. They got to be able to identify, he ain't built for this. She ain't built for this. Or I could build them up. They need some reprogramming. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got different roles. And the thing is, in your life, what I want you to do, if this message resonates with you, is just embrace your role. Don't try to be something that's not in your heart. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't in your heart, on some real stuff, because the universe, God, nature, whatever you want to call it, already give you what you're supposed to be doing. So if you ain't supposed to be the head, the CEO, and you supposed to be the counselor, that's what you got to do. If you ain't supposed to be the officer, the police officer, the firefighter, or the general, or don't try to do that. And vice versa. But one thing I will say is this, though. As the individuals to make this war on, for this example, poverty to work, all three individuals have to respect each other's contribution if they both or all three are fighting for the same cause. And that's to eradicate poverty. From a lawmaker standpoint, from a militant standpoint, to soft skill standpoint, coping mechanism standpoint. Because in this fight, poverty could be so bad where a person will want to just blow their brains out because they can't take being broke no more. Or they used to have money, but now it's gone. And they depressed. How do you stop that individual from committing suicide? How do you stop that individual from wanting to hurt other people to get back where they were? It takes a certain type of individual for that. So at the end of the day, all three individuals need to have respect for each other, especially if the work is getting put in, as well as even if they don't like each other and let's say they never met, never had a conversation, but for whatever reason they feel some kind of way, whether it's personal, ego, threatened. Some people are vibing beyond ego. You know, some people been way past that. They're focused on a mission and just waiting for others to catch up. So, last but not least, when we talk about war, in order to defeat the enemy, there has to be unison. Whether in your army, whether if you partner with somebody in that army, or if three individuals getting together, it has to be respect and unity. Or it's just not gonna work. And the mission is gonna get misconstrued based on individuals' ego or mentality. And that's what you call red tape and bureaucracy and a plan to where the enemy could use that or gas them up to a point where other individuals believe that. So that being said, I just want to say this. Be true to your mission, and despite what others may think, what they want to conclude, or especially if they never met you, man, hold that with a grain of salt, man. Like, just live your personal life. And if you're trying to change the world to be a better place, just stay on your mission, despite if others own it with you or not. Do what's true to your heart. Be who you are. And most of all, love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you can look at the faults of others and forgive them before they even ask for forgiveness, or understand that even if you don't like them, you still love them. And if they for that mission, dig them up, even if they ain't for you. Believe me, the universe will reward you for that. So that being said, I just want to say, y'all take care, stay focused, be good. If you got snow right now, I'm sorry, I'm not experiencing that. So that being said, hey, at the end of the day, be your motherfucking self and be happy with it. Till next time.